What's going on, everybody? I'm Logan Cross, and we're back with another installment of the T&C Sports Podcast, and I'm here with my host.
I'm Fire Troy.
Yes, sir. And this is the ninth installment. That's crazy. We're almost at the 10th episode, Fire. How you feeling? 10 episodes or 9 episodes in, not 10. How you feel?
Dude, bro, I feel great, man. 9 episodes down, bro. About to be 20 more, bro, or
Yes,
or maybe
sir.
more, man. Until we,
We'll go until we need to go, man.
yes, sir, bro.
But as everybody knows, last night was an eventful night in the NBA. The NBA draft took place. Before we get into the draft, though, there was a lot of trades that went on beforehand and a lot of news that broke before the draft. So let's get into some of those trades that happened and get your thoughts. So the first one, which is a big trade for the Bucks, they received Drew Bledsoe and they gave up Eric Bledsoe. Oh, I'm sorry, Drew Holiday, and they gave up Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, 3 first-round picks, and they're also going to swap 2 picks in the future. What do you think this gave the Bucks?
I think this gave the Bucks really like momentum to try to get Giannis to stay, but they have to understand that Drew Holiday is pretty old and he's not a young guy that could be there for a long time. I just think they just got him there because they wanted to see if Giannis would just sign the extension and just stay there for another 5 years. But I just think Drew Holiday was just sent there because the Pelicans just needed more cap space or more room for them to get more improved players to when to get their legacy started.
Yeah, I agree. The Bucks gave up a lot, and yes, Drew Holiday. I keep saying Drew Bledsoe. Drew Holiday is a great player. I think he's been an All-Star once, and he's been on the All Defensive teams around twice, I believe. Yes, he's a great player, but was he worth 3 first-round picks, and then you're also swapping 2 picks? I don't know. You gave up Eric Bledsoe as a solid starting point guard. I think Drew Holiday is better than Eric Bledsoe, but I don't know. It was kind of like it's not a terrible trade. They're trying to get Giannis to stay, as you said, and Drew Holiday is going to help them win more games, I believe, because people kind of backed off of Eric Bledsoe because he couldn't shoot as much, and Drew Holiday could actually score really well. So we'll see how that works out. And there, as you said, what they were trying to get Giannis, they were also trying to get Bogdanovich, but that trade fell through. I don't know exactly why. It was like some tampering thing, and he didn't want to go to the Milwaukee, so it fell through. He would have been an amazing pickup for them. That's tragic that didn't go through. I think he's still trying to go there because he's going to be a restricted free agent. So
Yes.
teams are going to have to, make offers for him. Do you think they should try and get Bogdan, even though the trade fell through?
I don't think they'll have enough money, in my honest opinion, for Bogan because I think he wants a lot of money because what he did in Sacramento was amazing. I mean, he's he's one of the he's probably the best player on the Kings right now, and I just believe the Kings need to re-sign him and make him stay a little bit longer for them to rebuild and to get the momentum they need to get some players to come to Sacramento. But I don't think Milwaukee's gonna get him because I think their offer and Bojan's offer is going to be two completely different things.
Yeah, and the thing with restricted free agents, if say Milwaukee offers him a deal, the Kings can match that, and then he'll automatically be locked into Sacramento.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out. Not too sure. And then another trade that happened is Houston sent Robert Covington over to Portland for Trevor Ariza and the 16th overall pick, which I believe they ended up trading to Detroit. Do you think? I think that's an amazing pickup for Portland. Their defense kind of lacked in the playoffs last year, and I think Robert Covington is going to step into that role. Um, I remember a few years ago they had Al-Farouq Aminu, and he was a great defender. He just couldn't shoot that well. So now they're getting Robert Covington, who can shoot well, and he's a good defender. So I believe this is a great trade. I'm not so sure about Houston because I forget. I don't know exactly what they got because I know they traded Trevor Ariza in the 16th pick as well. I believe they got a later pick in the draft. Um, so I guess Houston didn't really lose since they got rid of Ariza. But if Ariza would have been staying there, I would have say this was a loss for Houston's. But I think it's even pretty much both sides. What do you think?
I think that's a like you were saying. I think that's a great pickup for Portland. I mean, Portland needs more shooters and more defensive guys. I believe Robert Covington could can do that job. But like you were saying for Houston, Houston's just is just dropping. I mean, earlier today, Austin Rivers opted out of his fifth
Contract.
third year option. He's gone. PJ Tucker's trying to get traded to Miami, and then I just think they need to just get a player or like a young player just to rebuild Houston like in its entirety.
Yeah, and as well as that, Harden, as everybody knows, Harden wants out. So I don't know. It's not looking good for Houston. They're still trying to hold everything together, but it's being held on by threads right now. It's not looking good at all.
Sure.
And now another thing with Houston. This one's about Russell Westbrook. I saw that the Knicks and the Hornets were the only teams super interested in like going for Russ. Now, I know there are some rumors about Houston swapping Russ with John Wall, which I was not very happy about. Um, I was telling my roommate that if they did that, I would really consider not being a fan anymore because I don't know why. I just love John Wall so much, and trading him from Russ is not even like a move upward. It's like a same, like we wouldn't even be better. And I honestly think our offense should be centered around Brad Beal. And if Russ came here, it would it would have to be around Russ just because all the media and because Brad Beal gets no love in the media as you saw from last year with no all NBA selection or no All Stars. So I don't know. I wouldn't want to see that. Hopefully, I guess the Hornets don't even need him now because they got LaMelo at number 3. So the Knicks, they had a good draft yesterday. I wouldn't mind seeing Russ in New York. What do you think's gonna happen in that situation?
I think Russell Westbrook is gonna have to go to a low. I mean, I think he's gonna have to ask for less money. He's gonna have to ask Houston for a buyout because no team wants his big contract. I mean, he has $130 million left for 3 years, and no team wants that anyway. But I don't believe Houston. I mean, I don't believe Houston's gonna trade him to Charlotte, like you said. They picked up Lamelo Ball, and I don't believe he's gonna go to New York because they have RJ Barrett and they have the other shooting guard they picked up. I forget his name though. They picked him in the first, second round. But Russell Westbrook is going to be a player that just
Oh yeah,
can't.
they got Emmanuel quickly
Yeah.
from Kentucky.
I just believe that he just needs to just. I think he needs to just sign like a 1 year, $10 million contract because him in these 30, $40 million contracts, it's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, I don't think
Just not
he's a
make the playoffs because
yeah. I mean, he's still a great player. Don't get me wrong. It's just how he fits on teams is just not good because he can't shoot. He's very ball dominant, and a lot of teams are looking. Well, I guess Houston, you would think he would fit there. And if Harden leaves, I just thought of this. If Harden leaves, I think Russ should stay in Houston and kind of take on that role. He could. I think he should stay in Houston if Harden gets out. I think he should stay. That'd be interesting to see. I think he would kind of be like the Thunder situation. He would have to carry them basically, but we'd see. I think he should stay if Harden leaves. If not, I don't even know what team he should go to. I would say the Knicks, but we'll see. You have anything else to say on that?
I just think if he wants to go to a team that really wants a player, I think he should probably go to Detroit or he can go to probably a Cleveland or a Bulls because I mean those markets I think he could really do well there. I just don't think they put him with the right people yet. I just believe like there's one team out there that has a great lineup that he'll love and he can produce very well, shoot very well, and also win.
Yeah, hopefully he gets put in the right situation. I mean, I love his effort and hustle, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah.
And we're gonna stay on Houston for one more topic. Now, Fayed, if you had an offer on the table for 2 years, $103 million, are you turning it down or what are you doing?
So with me, I would take that any day of the week. I would take that 50 million and keep that in my pocket. But like with Harden, he really wanted to win. I think that was his mindset. He really wanted to win because he's been in Houston almost 10 years. Hasn't got to the finals. He's had great teams. They've never gotten there. And I think he wants to go to Brooklyn to really win, to have a team that is at the same level. and want it as much as he does.
Yeah, I respect that he wants to win, and he's already made plenty of money.
Yeah,
So for him, now that's it. I would want to go to win. But for us, obviously, everyday people, we're taking that 50 mil, no doubt.
exactly.
So I can't really blame him too much. And then DeMar DeRozan and Andre Drummond both opted in on their contract, so they're gonna stay with San Antonio and with Cleveland unless they get traded. So I just wanted to update you on that. I know we mentioned them a few episodes ago, but they're gonna be staying put unless traded. And then the next one, which was also a blockbuster trade, was CP3 was traded to Phoenix. That one's pretty old news. Not, I think it happened like Friday or Saturday.
Yes.
The trade was for Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, Ty Jerome, Jalen LeCue, and a 2020 first-round pick. Now, Rubio was traded, and it looks like Kelly Oubre is about to be traded as well. So they're not going to be on the Thunder, but Thunder got a bunch of picks in return as well. I think they have 17 first-round picks until 2027, which is ridiculous. And the Phoenix got a great point guard to they could get. I think they could go. Their ceiling is probably like the 4 seed. I think they could go up there and get the 4 seed. What do you think bringing CP to Phoenix did? How do you think it's going to help them improve?
I don't think it's going to improve them as much as we thought, because I thought that they were not going to trade that much for CP3. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, I think they were probably going to trade Rubio, 2 first-round picks, and somebody else. But, I mean, they gave most of their whole starting lineup away. And I think they'll be a playoff team. I just think they'll be like OKC. They'll get out the first round.
Okay. I don't think they're. I think they'll get to the second round. First round's realistic though. They could easily be knocked out in the first round, especially with how tough the West is. But CP3, Book, they still got Ayton. Cam Johnson is still there. They got a bunch of young people. Yes, they lost Oubre. Yes, Rubio. I think Rubio was a starter. I mean, you just play CP3 with Rubio. That's obviously an upgrade. They really just lose Kelly Oubre because, I mean, Jalen LeCue, he was like a young, kind of developing talent who's crazy, got crazy athleticism. So, yeah, he'd be losing out on Ty Jerome as well as a great young player. So it'd be interesting to see how they develop on the Thunder. So I'm definitely going to be tuning in to that. I want to see how they do. But obviously, the Suns made a good deal. In my mind, they got a better point guard. They went into the bubble and went 8-0. Looks like people are going to have to take them seriously next year. I could see them getting the 6th seed. I think there's a realistic 6th or 7th spot. But yeah, ultimately, first to second round is probably their ceiling.
Exactly. Yeah.
As I do, the Hawks, I have written down that the Hawks were interested in getting Gordon Hayward. And now that Gordon Hayward opted out of his, $33-34 million deal, he's on the table for everybody to go for. What teams would you like to see go after him?
I think he should go back to Utah. In my honest opinion, he should go to Utah, or he should go to San Antonio and get where he used to be, because from the jump, I believed it. He should have never left Utah. He was a great player in Utah. He was amazing in Utah. I don't think he would have got injured in Utah. He was an elite player. He could have got the same amount of money, but not injured in Utah. I just believe that he just he made the wrong decision.
Yeah, and obviously the injuries, there's something crazy that happened. But he's came back. He's played solid. He hasn't been crazy good as he used to be, but he's still been a good player. I would kind of like to see him on the Hawks. I think he'd kind of be that. I know they have Kevin Huerter, the redhead dude, who's a developing. He's a good player. But Gordon Hayward could come in there. He could start at small forward, help them make the playoffs. But also, I would love to see him go back to the Jazz. That you mentioned that, I wasn't even thinking about that. But that would be really nice to see. He'd get a nice, if there was fans, he'd get an ovation. There's no fans, sadly. But that'll be a nice little homecoming for him. That'd be interesting. We'll see how that plays out as well. I wanted to say this when we were talking about CP, but there was rumors that CP3 wanted to go back to the Clippers.
I saw that too.
Now imagine
I saw that.
that lineup. Now they would probably have to. Now I don't think the Thunder would be interested in trading for Lou Will or Pat Bev, which you would think they would have to give up. And the Clippers already have, limited picks because they gave half of them to the Thunder. So I don't really know how they would have traded for him. Maybe they would have had to give up even more future picks. So that would have been interesting, but we'll never get to see that. And I want to read this one post. I was telling Fight about this the other day. I got to pull it up on Instagram. It's how the Thunder were being super smart.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Let me read it before I miss say anything. Okay, and this was a trade that happened a while ago. Dennis Schroeder to the Lakers. At first glance, the Schroeder trade looks very lopsided for the Lakers, right? Now, why would the Thunder GM give them a great player for basically nothing? I think they got like a first-round pick and Danny Green. Now, OKC has the Clippers picks. You know how they traded like 6 first-round picks for Paul George?
Yes.
OKC wants the Lakers to beat the Clippers, and then for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to go into free agency, because they'll be free agents next year in 2021, and then leave the Clippers, and then the Clippers are just going to blow it up, and they're not going to have any picks, and all their picks are going to be with the Thunder. So the Thunder are going to be getting top picks in the draft. And I thought that was crazy smart. Even though, so that, hey, man's just playing chess while we're all playing checkers. That's a great move. Can't blame him for that. And then another trade. I know I keep saying another trade. There's so many trades that happen. We're going to go through all of them, or all the bigger ones. Sixers trade Al Horford, another player. I don't want to pronounce his name because I'll say it wrong. A 2025 protected first-round pick and a 2020 second-round pick for Danny Green and Terrence Ferguson. So they get rid of Al Horford's big contract because he had a kind of bad contract, even though he's a good player, but it was way too big for, his play style and level. And they also get a shooter in Danny Green and an athletic, bench player in Terrence Ferguson. And they clear space, they clear cap room to possibly trade in James Harden. What do you think about this trade?
I think that was smart, but not on Philly's part. I mean, like you said, like a shooter, like come on, like he's a shooter. Like this dude can shoot for his life. But I think this was smart by Philly trying to get James Harden in, but I just do not see Harden going to Philly because Harden does not like Embiid. I've seen this many times. Them two argue all the time on the court when they play each other. They always have beef. They always have problems. So I just don't believe he's gonna go to Philly. Like I get the GM from Houston is in Philly. What's that dude's name?
No clue, bro.
No, I know his name. Daryl Morley.
Yeah, Daryl.
Daryl Morley. He was the GM that got Harden his money. But I just don't think he's gonna be in
And D'Antoni's in Philly, right?
D'Antoni.
He went to Philly.
No, that was Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers went to Mike D'Antoni. He's an assistant coach for the Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn Nets. Oh, I forgot he took an assistant job. I was really surprised at that. Yeah, my bad. Doc Rivers.
I think that's why he's trying to go to Brooklyn, dude. Because Mike D'Antoni been his coach ever since he was traded there. So I think he's trying to go back to where he used to be.
Yeah, I think it was. He did say that then Brooklyn and Philly were like top 2, but Brooklyn was like where he was really trying to go to.
Like you were saying on that. I think Brooklyn's coaching staff is underrated, dude. I just believe they're underrated because people think that these dudes don't know what they're talking about, dude. DeAndre Jordan could get motivation from Amari Stoudemire. Kyrie could get motivation from Steve Nash. Now, the one surprise about that this would have broke internet if they would have got Dirk Nowitzki in there to train Kevin Durant. That team would have been one of the best teams probably ever.
I think Dirk kind of hangs around the Dallas Mavericks, but if they brought him there, imagine you would have three past two, I wrote two definite Hall of Famers, and then one really good player. Future or past players just coaching, and you could pick off them and get moves, and I mean those players are already great, but like that would just boost anyways. So that'd be awesome to see, but sadly, probably won't work out like that. And we'll all see how this James Harden thing unfolds. It should be interesting. Let's see what's next. Yep, and this was really sad news. I was super blown about it this morning. Klay Thompson has suffered a torn Achilles in his right foot. He tore his ACL in the 2019 finals versus the Raptors, which one was on his left leg, but this time he tears his right foot Achilles. And thoughts and prayers sent out to Klay Thompson. Really hate to see it. They were in for a great season. Probably at least gonna go to the, they were title contenders. So we'll see how they play now. How do you think this is gonna affect the Warriors this season?
I think it's gonna affect him a lot because I was watching Stephen A. Smith this morning and Max Kellerman, yeah, on NBA analyst, and they were saying that Klay Thompson out is gonna put more pressure on Steph Curry, and when Steph Curry plays a lot, he has ankle issues, so his ankle is gonna get more banged up, and this team is gonna keep getting first overall picks, second overall picks, and they're gonna keep rebuilding and trying to be the next dynasty in years to come.
Yeah, as you were saying with Steph Curry, last year he was hurt, and he didn't play too many games last season, probably less than 25, and he hasn't played. He's played maybe 25 games in the last 2 years. So I'm interested to see how he does when he gets back. I know he's been putting in the work a lot, so he's gotten a lot of time in the gym, but he hasn't got a lot of in-game reps. So we'll see how he plays. It also, like you said, which is a great point, it puts more pressure on Steph Curry to play well. And it'll raise his MVP odds because he already had him pretty high, but now they're going to be super high. Him and Luka are probably the 1 and 2 for the best odds to win MVP right now. We got Andrew Wiggins. This means Andrew Wiggins has to step up, average like 24.
Yeah.
Wiseman's gonna have to be ready right off the bat if they want to, try and make the playoffs. And Draymond Green's gotta, we know what to expect from Draymond Green. He'll do his thing without scoring. So I don't know. It's just really sad, and hopefully he comes back and can still play somewhat well. Because those are two of the hardest injuries to go through. Obviously ACL and Achilles. So we'll see. Thoughts and prayers out to Klay Thompson and his family once again.
And then I'm gonna add something, but it's a different topic. So I'm gonna go back to LaMelo. So I'm gonna add something. So did you see this morning? Michael Jordan sent LaMelo Ball a custom Rolls Royce truck this morning.
No way.
You didn't see that?
Nah, he did.
So yeah, he sent him a custom Rolls Royce truck with the white exterior with the black accents and he put the red interior with the MB logo on the inside.
Okay, you gotta treat your top pickers right. I like that. MJ's got all that guala. I mean, hey, why not? I mean, so does the Ball family, but that was a nice gift. I'm glad. That's cool that he did that.
Yeah, that's all I had to add on that. I wanted, yeah.
And now we get to the draft. I have the first 13 picks right now, and I have a bunch of picks that I thought were good picks after the top 13. As you know, what were your thoughts about Anthony Edwards going number 1 to the T-Wolves?
I kind of am hesitant about that. I'm kind of hesitant about him because before the draft began, he was like, oh, if the NFL drafted me, I would automatically go to NFL. I would not stay in basketball. That would have been my first red flag. My second red flag would be I heard he was very lazy. I heard that from sources in Georgia and on different websites, but I just believe that you honestly should have went with Wiseman or LaMelo, put Wiseman at the four and try to work him as the four guard. But I just think you can work with Anthony Edwards right now, but I don't see him as a bust. I see him being like a D'Angelo Russell or like a Karl Anthony Towns kind of guy. Like they're just gonna be like relevant, but they won't be like good.
Yeah, and guess what? He's on their team right there with them. So
Man.
I think they'll be like a lower playoff team. They have a solid team. I don't know why they just never perform. Um, I think Jimmy Butler, he used to be there. He recognized that something was wrong with players, especially Karl Anthony Towns, and he got out of there. He got up out of there. So I don't know. I think that franchise. I don't think Cat is a leader, and they need a leader. Hopefully, I mean, it doesn't sound like Edwards is going to be a very good leader anyway as well. So hopefully, maybe D'Lo could step in, kind of mentor Edwards. I do think Edwards was one of the, he's the best scorer in the draft by far. He carried Georgia basically. So I like the pick, but I also do think LaMelo would be a good fit there as well. Um, I don't know. The laziness does scare me, kind of give me Anthony Bennett vibes,
Exactly.
but we'll see. He's got the skills. It just can he stay committed? That's really all it is. And they were also talking about trading the pick before. They were taking calls up to the last minute and they decided to keep, which I'm not mad about. I don't know what they could have gotten for the number one pick, especially because this draft is labeled as one of the, there's not like a standout number one guy. So I don't know. I'm content with what they did. Number two overall, Golden State picked James Wiseman. Do you have anything to say on that?
I think that was a bad decision
Why?
because the Warriors already had Willie Cauley Stein. He's a very decent and good center. He could shoot. He's a
I left.
he's a versatile.
I think they dropped him or traded him.
Yeah, I swear they had Willie Cauley Stein.
I'm pretty sure he got traded.
Willie Cauley Stein is
Mavs.
Mavericks. Okay.
Yeah, they
Um,
traded him.
they have some center. I just forget what center they got.
They were playing a lot of rookies because the Warriors this year they were kind of like having tryouts for like bench players this year, or they were hoping to before Clay got hurt.
I mean, I believe they could have. I think I would have got LaMelo for that pick, and I would have traded because the Warriors hadn't had another pick in the first round. But I just believe they should have traded the first round pick for the Hawks center Clint Capella
Ooh, that's a good idea.
and got Clint
I mean,
Capella and LaMelo.
okay, that would be a good idea, but I'm not mad at the pick. They were hyping up Heisman. They say he's like Chris Bosh but taller. So I'm not mad at the pick. He'll protect the paint. Steph Curry, Draymond Green will help him, get in his groove. We'll see how he plays. I'm sure the Warriors won't hesitate to trade him if he's not, getting shit done in practice or if he's not doesn't look too hot. So, I'm not mad at the pick, as I said before. And then number 3 to the Charlotte Hornets. We kind of hit on this a little bit. They got LaMelo Ball. They also snagged Vernon Carey Jr. from Duke in the second round. I think of the 32nd pick, which is he was projected before the college season to go top 5. Yes, he didn't have as good of a college season as people thought, but he still got the talent, and I like that duo, LaMelo Ball and Vernon Carey. I love that duo. I'm excited to see that. Now they might barely squeak in the playoffs or miss it, but I think that'll be a fun team to watch this year. What do you think?
I think that would be a great team in the season. I just believe Charlotte needs to get one more piece. They have Devontae Graham at shooting guard. They have LaMelo at point guard. They have Vernon Carey at center. They just need one more guy that could be it can't be like a all-star. I mean, it can't be like a Kevin Durant or James Harden. but it could be like a Seth Curry or like a low level guy that could shoot and score 15, 16 points a game and get you to the promised land.
I think they could right now. I think they're like an 8 seed team,
Yeah.
maybe 8 through 10. I
Mhm.
think they'll land around there. Probably get a similar. I don't know, maybe not. They'll get a similar pick next year, maybe a little higher. But there'll be an exciting team. Number 4, a little questionable from the Chicago Bulls. They picked Patrick Williams from Florida State, small forward. Now this is a guy. Not a lot of people know his name. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say I didn't really know who he was. But he's a bench. He came off the bench at FSU and averaged like 9 points. He does look like an athletic freak, and he also looks like he's a good defender. But I think there's options that were better. But I don't know too much about him, so I don't want to, say too much negative about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You have anything to say on that pick?
I do. I think the Chicago front office and the coaching staff know something we don't, because there is no possible way you could pick the starter over a you pick a bench player over a starter. I just think they know more inside information than we do as fans and as viewers than the front office in Chicago.
Hey, man, there's especially recently. There's been people that were drafted that were off the bench in college, such as Devin Booker. Devin Booker came off the bench in Kentucky, and look at him. He's going to be an all-star next year. I think he's been a snub. I think he made it last year barely because Lillard was out. So, he was put in his place. But I don't know. We'll see. 4th overall, I don't know. I'm not sold on him. We'll see how he plays. And number 5, this was a guy I was kind of hoping would drop to the Wizards. But, we got somebody else to drop to us. We'll talk about that. Isaac Okura. He went to Auburn, small forward. He's an athletic player. He can shoot a little bit, but he's mainly like a defender, and he can, he's athletic. I like that pick with the Cavs. He brings they got a lot of young players that are gritty, like Colin Sexton. I'm blanking on the dude's name, number 4.
Uh, Darius Garland,
No. It's a lefty that went to USC.
and he's on the Cavs.
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name. But he's also very well. But I think he had a DUI though. Hold on, I gotta look this up. This is making me
Kevin Porter.
Kevin Porter Jr. He's a good scorer. They got a nice, solid young core. And now they add this guy, who's also athletic and gritty. So that team will be fun to watch as well as a Hornets. So I'm excited to see that. You want to say anything on that pick?
Nah,
No.
he's gonna be a great player in Cleveland. I think he's just gonna be there just to improve his game, and then I hope he goes somewhere else and really improves as a star.
Get
And
out of there.
exactly.
Number 6, Onyeka Okongwu from USC center. Personally, I was hoping he'd fall to us as well as the last pick, but he didn't. And he's a good pick. Even though they have Clint Capella, I'm sure they'll trade him now. But Onyeka Okongwu is a great pick. A lot of people compare him to Bam Adebayo. He's 6'9", 6'10". He's athletic. He can block shots. He's strong. I like that pick for Atlanta. I really do. You want to say anything on that one?
I think he's gonna pair great with Trey Young. You know, the alley oops, the lobs, the pick and rolls is gonna be amazing for Trey Young, and I think that team is gonna improve a lot this season from the previous seasons in the past.
All right. Detroit picked Kellum Hayes. He's a point guard from France. New York. I know you were kind of like talking about this pick yesterday. New York picked Obi Toppin at number 8 from Dayton, power forward. And what were your thoughts on that pick?
I thought it was an amazing pick. I mean, he's a hometown guy. You know, he could rock the city of New York and still be home. He's gonna be probably the first player next season to do a through the legs in game next season. I'm just hoping for it. He's athletic. He's flexible, and he's gonna be like a great star for RJ Barrett and Julius Randle to help them get to the playoffs. They hope.
Yeah, New York had a good draft. Um, I like the pick. I don't know what much else that he could do besides, body people and, be athletic. I saw they were showing some stats yesterday that he had the third highest field goal percentage in basketball history, college basketball history, behind Zion and I'm blanking. I think it was Bill Walton. So hey, he shoots good around the rim. Maybe it'll be like a baby Zion. We'll see. That should be a good pick, and it should, bring some people to show up to Madison Square Garden with all them dunks.
Exactly.
And then number 9, my Washington Wizards. People were saying this was a steal of the draft. I watched some highlights, and he is nice. Denny Avila, he's a small forward from Israel. At first, when I saw the pick, I was like, who is that? But then I listened, and, they were saying all these good things, how this could be the steal of the draft. And I watched some highlights, and he is great. He's 6'9", like 210, 220 pounds, and he's a hooper. He could shoot. He's a smart player, and I'm excited to see him. I don't really know what else to say. What do you think about that pick?
I think that was an amazing pick for you guys. You guys just needed that one more player to really spark Washington fans to come up off their couches and go to Capital One Arena. I just think John Wall, Bradley Beal, your ninth pick in the draft, Rui Hachimura, Davies Bertans at the 4, man. That's a really solid lineup, man. I'm just saying that team gonna be really good next season.
We got to re-sign Davies, bro.
Yeah, you do. Like for real, you do.
We better. Jalen Smith went to the Suns. Devin Vassell from FSU went to the Spurs. Tyrese Halliburton. If you're his girlfriend, hit me up. She's bad. And then Kiera Lewis Jr., point guard from Alabama, went to the Pelicans at 13, which was an interesting pick, considering they just got Eric Bledsoe and they have Lonzo. So I don't know. He's like a speedster who could get down the court quick, point guard. So that'll be interesting. I don't know why they went with a point guard, but they know more than I do. And then the other noticeable picks was Cole Anthony went at 15 to the Magic. And then I know you like the Mavs. Josh Green went to the Mavs. What do you think when they took him?
I think that was a great pickup because I believe he could be that next scoring punch, like with Porzingis being out like the first 2 months of the season. He could help out Luka. But I think the Mavericks were kind of dumb trading away Seth Curry because he was a great scoring punch for the Mavericks when Kristaps was out. But I believe he could be a great asset to us in the following seasons to come.
Yeah, I think instead of I guess we'll bring up that trade now. During the draft, the Mavs traded Seth Curry, and they traded the pick or did they have the pick?
I think they traded the pick.
No, the Sixers gave the Mavs Josh Richardson and the 36th pick for Seth Curry. I think they should have used Seth Curry and ammo to trade for Zach LaVine.
Exactly.
Or someone of that caliber, one of them underrated, really good players. They could have brought Zach LaVine down there. They could put Luke at the 1, Zach LaVine at the 2. Keep Tim. They could include Tim Hardaway in that trade. I don't care. Bring some more start power. If not, Tim Hardaway at the 3, KP at the 4 or 5, and then that'll be just improving the team from last year. So they're obviously. I think they should have beat the Clippers in round 1, but they would definitely get past the first round if they make a trade like that. I think that's a trade they should consider doing. But that trade, Josh Richardson is a good defender and spot up, so it's not like a terrible trade. So we'll see. I guess I think Seth is going to really help out Phoenix, or not Phoenix, the Sixers though, because he's going to space the floor for Ben Simmons because he can't shoot, and it also opened up cap room. So
yeah.
And then the Heat selected Precious Achiuwa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Power forward from Memphis. I don't know what division Memphis is in, but I know he won the Player of the Year for it. So solid pickup at power forward. They could plug him in there. Him and Bam, that seems like a deadly combo. I don't know if he'll start right away, maybe halfway through, plug in, but I like that pick. I know Tyler Hero tweeted out saying he wanted to get his Kentucky brother in there,
Yeah,
Tyrese Maxey,
yeah.
who went one pick after to the Sixers, which I think was a good pick as well. What are your thoughts on those two picks? If you want to,
I think they were both great picks. I honestly believe Miami didn't really need him because I know he was going to be a bench player. I mean, they didn't need any depth, but I think they did because when they played the Lakers, their bench did not score at all. Their bench was pretty bad, so I'm just gonna give them like a pat on the back for that pick and just have like more bench depth, and they probably might trade him for Giannis. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, I was thinking they would pick Tyrese Maxey due to the fact that they're not sure if Gordon Dragic, excuse me,
Yeah,
is 100% coming back yet. And he's getting a little old. So I think that would have been a solid pick. I think Tyreek Maxey has the potential to be a solid starting point guard, maybe all-star starting point guard. So they might have missed out, but the Sixers sure didn't. And I like the Sixers pick right there.
yeah.
24th to Denver was traded to Denver. RJ Hampton. He played overseas. He's a point guard. He's a tall, lengthy point guard. I like that pick. I know Murray's not a point guard, so there he could have fit right in. Murray, Hampton, Jokic. That seems like a deadly combo. And we'll see how that goes out. I like RJ Hampton. I know Overtime loves RJ Hampton because they always post about him. But I think he'll be a solid player. Might take him a few years to get into that, get developed. Once he gets a little stronger, I think he could be really good, though. What you think?
I think New Orleans should have kept him. I do not think they should have traded him away. I believe he could have played at the two. Um, and then also what New Orleans should have did, New Orleans should have picked up a power forward, man. They don't know if Brandon Ingram's going to resign. They don't know. So it's like, how you going to trade a pick away knowing that you have a player that might leave and you might need to fill that gap?
I know they did trade that pick. It was Milwaukee's original pick, but it was traded to Detroit, and then Detroit traded it to Denver. Kind of confusing. And there's a trade that went down during the draft as well. This was for the number 19. Detroit got the 19th overall pick, which ended up being Saddiq Bey from Villanova, which is a solid pick. The Nets got Landry Shamet, spot-up shooter, pretty good defender. And the Clippers got Luke Kennard. He's a good scorer from Detroit. So, not a crazy trade, but like each team got some solid role players to add on. And yeah, I like the trade. I'm not going to complain. Luke Kennard's a guy that could go out and get buckets. Shamet is going to, space the floor for a KD, catch and shoot guy. And then Saddiq Bey, Villanova usually has some pretty good rookies. So we'll see how he plays.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, yeah. Peyton Pritchard from Oregon got picked up by the Celtics with the 26th pick. Now, I love that pick. Peyton Pritchard, he's a bucket getter. He will go get you buckets. He's similar to who is on the Celtics right now. He saw March Madness last year, Carson Edwards. He's a great off-the-dribble scorer. Celtics, they were looking for some bench depth, and they got a great one. Everybody knows Peyton Pritchard works hard as hell, and I'm glad to see he went to a good team. Behind Kemba, who he'll definitely take notes from. What do you think about that pick?
I think he's gonna be I think he's gonna be a two-way player. I don't think they're gonna keep him on the roster. I just think it's gonna do like a taco kind of thing. They're gonna bring him up for some games, but put him in the G League to like improve his game for some other games as well.
Yeah, that'll keep him developing. So can't be too mad at that. And then my guy, we're gonna skip a little bit with the 48th pick. Golden State Warriors select the Red Ninja, Nico Mannion. It's my guy. I love Nico Mannion. Watch him. I watched him all the time in high school. Went to Arizona. I love that pick for how late it was. It's a great pick. Um, he'll be developing behind Steph Curry, which you can't even ask for anybody better than that. So that'll be interesting. I think he'll actually have a good role being the backup point guard, and I'm excited to see him. What were you taking away from that pick?
I thought Nico was going to go in the first round, in my honest opinion. I did not think he was going to go second round, but I'm glad he's going to Golden State because he could be coached by a legendary player and a legendary coach in his corner, and he can have a great ownership, great city, and great teammates to really help him improve to be what he wants to be one day in the NBA.
Yeah, if I had to pick, like a top 3 list of places I would want to go and develop, Golden State would easily be number 1, number 2, number 3. So I think that's a great pick, obviously, because love Nico, man. Let's see, the Wizards. We drafted a Czech Republic dude, but we traded him for the 53rd pick, which ended up being Cassius Winston, point guard, 4-year point guard from MSU. And, I was blown when we drafted this Czech dude because I wanted us to pick Nico Mannion with the 37th pick. But I'll settle for Cassius Winston. He's a great player. He's a good leader, high IQ. He's a bucket getter. I remember that game in the March Madness when they upset Duke. He was going crazy. So I'm really glad he'll be on our team. I think we had a solid draft overall for the Wizards. Yeah, so I was happy with our draft. What do you think about the draft as a whole?
I think it was kind of okay. There was not a lot of players that people really knew about and knew of. I believe this draft could have been a little more interesting. It could have had a little bit more action, a little bit more like pizzazz. But I think it was pretty good overall. Honestly, I just think a lot of rookies got a lot of chances and they got a lot of money. So that's all like comes at the end of the day.
Yeah, facts. There's also one dude. He went undrafted. I was pretty upset he went undrafted because he was a dog in college. Also, my guy Miles Powell from Seton Hall University, also a 4-year starter. And he's I don't know the division they're in again, but he won the Player of the Year. I think it was Big Ten Player of the Year. Miles Powell, excuse me. But he got picked up by the New York Knicks. That also is the reason why I think the Knicks had a really good draft night. They got a steal. This reminds me of a few years ago when the Knicks picked up Alonzo Trier, who's an undrafted free agent from Arizona. I think, Miles Powell is a bucket getter. He will go out and get you a bucket. He's a great leader. I'm excited to see him. I'm going to keep tuned into New York. You better get some minutes down there with Thibodeau coaching. I mean, RJ's about to be playing 40, so, why not throw Miles Powell in there for 5? So I was happy he got picked up. And there's also a dude from Marquette, Marcus Howard. He averaged almost 29 points, and he was undrafted. I think he's like 5'11". That might have been, kind of right, but, he's a great scorer as well. And I'm sure he'll get picked up in no time. And so I think that's about it for the draft. In most NBA topics, you want to add anything if you can think of right now?
I know a lot of rookies gonna do good in the bubble. I hope they do, man. And it's gonna be a great season to come, man.
Yeah, and that starts December 22nd. Preseason starts, I believe, the 11th. Correct. So we don't even have to take we'll be talking about basketball in no time, about like a month from now, less than a month from now. So, hey, stay tuned. We'll be talking about the NBA even more, especially now. The NBA segment today is probably be longer than NFL one, so it'll probably be about 50-50 though. But hey, NBA prime time back in town. Now that we're done with the NBA though, let's talk about the NFL. But we as we always do, we're gonna start out with our teams. And Fayed, what happened this weekend? Just take me through it. Y'all lost 23-16. What happened this weekend?
This weekend, I think Russ was overwhelmed. I think he thought he needed to do a lot, but he didn't really need to do a lot. I think he made some bad decisions. I believe it was a like a learning experience, and then our defense just another. I'm gonna say this another week. I've said it every podcast I've been on. Fire Ken Norton. I've said this multiple times. We still haven't done it. I just don't know what's wrong, but I just think we can improve this week versus Arizona.
Yeah, y'all play the game's starting right now.
Yeah.
Um, we both picked Seattle for that game before we make the picks. I just want to get that out there. We'll get into the picks once we're done about football. Yeah, but Russ, the last 3 games he's been a turnover machine, which is we're not used to seeing. I believe he has like 8 or 10 interceptions. I believe 8, right?
10.
10. He has 10 interceptions, and he's fumbled a few times as well. And this is not the Russ we're used to seeing. That's why I think tonight he's gonna flip it around. He's gonna look like the MVP again, and they need the win tonight so they could, because with Arizona's first in the division now.
Yes,
So this is the biggest game of the year
it is.
for the division right now. That's starting.
Correct.
Which you can bet I'm gonna watch after we get off. So and I know you are. We'll be talking about that. Next week should be interesting as well to talk about the Seahawks. Anything you want to add? Anything you want to say on the Seahawks before we go over to the Washington team?
No.
All right. Washington lost in a heartbreaker. We got down versus Detroit 24-3. We crawled back 27-27 with like 10 seconds left, or like 20 seconds left because we hit a field goal to tie. Chase Young gets a dumb penalty. I think it was roughing the passer. Moves them down. They have one more play, get in field goal range. Matt Prater nails a 59-yard kick to win. And I believe they're 3-5, and we dropped to 2-7, which is tied for last in our division with the Cowboys. I was disappointed. You bet I was disappointed. McLaurin looked good. Alex Smith looked good. He had 390 passing yards, no turnovers. Gibson looked good. But we got off to a very slow start, and that's what we like to do. I feel like if you looked at halftime scores of most of the games this season, we would be down 10 plus in at least half of them. So, if we played how we played in the second half, who knows how we'd be playing? Because it's just it keeps happening every week, and then just to lose on that last second field goal crushed me even more. So I don't know. At this point, Alex Smith, Ron Rivera did say that if we get eliminated from the playoffs, he's gonna start Haskins again. But I mean, honestly, Alex Smith, he just played well, so I'm maybe playing for like another week or two. Then I say you just got to put in Haskins and see how he could do, because we're probably not gonna get eliminated from the playoffs until like the last, till there's like 3 weeks left due to how bad our division is. So 3 weeks is not a good sample of how Haskins, because Haskins hasn't played in multiple weeks now. By then, he wouldn't have played in like 10 weeks. So I think we should just get him in as soon as possible. What do you think about our situation, Fayed? I know you're looking up from a pedestal because y'all are always good.
I mean, I just think Washington has a great team. I believe they could really win their division, honestly. You could honestly win your division. I just believe that you just need to really get your defense really set to where they don't really do any dumb plays or anything like that. I believe like you could really make the playoffs and make a difference.
I've heard a lot of people say Washington is just a quarterback away. Like if we get a good quarterback, we're fine. I think that's true, but I think our defense needs to be more consistent. Because some games they'll go out and it'll be like last week. It was 24-3. Yes, our offense wasn't looking good, but the defense can't let them get so many points in a short amount of time. I know we have the number one. Well, we might not anymore. I think definitely top 5 passing defense, and then our rushing defense is like middle of the league, which you would think it would be better, but it's mediocre. But I think our team is good. We just need a quarterback to fill that spot. maybe one more weapon on offense. I think we're there.
Yeah.
What else? Now I want to talk about the game of the year, and I already know you know what I'm talking about. Cardinals versus Bills. Now, what was your reaction to that game, Fahad?
That game was butt. I believe that game hurt me. It hurt me
We
that
needed them to lose.
I needed them to lose. But I'm also glad that Buffalo lost because Dolphins are tied for first in the AFC East.
Oh yeah.
I'm very happy about that because that gives a great chance for the Dolphins because I would love to see Tua make the playoffs in his first season. That would be amazing to me.
He's 3-0 as a starter. So I would love to see him in the playoffs too. I love Tua. I love his story.
Exactly.
So humble. I'm glad he's doing well, and I hope he can continue and make the playoffs.
Exactly.
And that was one of the topics. So let's just slide right into that. Tua Tagovailoa, I believe he's playing the Chargers this week or Denver. No, Denver. He just played the Chargers, playing Denver. Looking forward to that. Denver's defense is, solid. So I think they'll win that game. I'm anxious to see Tua. I love watching him. He looks so comfortable in the pocket, not worried. He looks like a smooth criminal out there. He looks phenomenal.
Yes.
I'm giving him a lot of credit, but I know I saw this stat. He is making a lot of I forget what the stat was called. It was like plays that could be turnovers. Like if he makes a wrong read, but like it gets tipped or something. And he had a lot of those. So he does got to fix on that and be kind of smart with his decisions. But I don't know. The future looks bright. And if I'm a Miami fan, I'm excited. And I wouldn't be too mad even if you miss out on the playoffs this year. Because he's got plenty of years. And they're being smart. They tanked last year. They got some good picks. So if they can't capitalize this year, they're going to capitalize in the next few years.
Yeah.
The next one is, should the Titans be worried? They got beat by the Colts last week, 34-17. I don't know. I believe they might be tied for the division lead.
Yes.
But I believe the Colts have the tiebreaker just because they won that game.
Correct.
So if you're a Titans fan, are you worried?
I would be worried because, first of all, we lost to the Bengals the week prior. No, 2 weeks ago because you beat the Bears. So, yes, I would be worried because I believe that there's something in our coaching or our players' disagreements is making our team worse. And I believe that the coaching staff and the front office need to fix it quick.
Yeah, I agree. If I'm a Titans fan, I'm worried. You just came off of losing to a struggling Bengals team, and then you lose to the Colts, who most people picked you to win. Yes, in my opinion, the Colts are a underrated team, but that was a game that they should have won. So I would definitely be worried, especially now that you gave the Colts that game, because now they're ahead of them in the division. So they're gonna have to win against them next time they play if they want to try and get that number 1 seed. All right. And then Drew Brees came down with a collapsed lung, and he had 5 broken ribs. Now they're gonna plug in Jameis Winston, and obviously Taysom Hill is gonna get some work, probably more work now, even though with Brees out. How do you think their offense is going to be affected by this, and how do you think they'll be affected as a team? They play Atlanta. How do you think it's going to affect them?
I believe Jameis Winston is going to do great because Atlanta's defense is very weak, and he loves to throw the deep threat. And I just believe that he's going to score, and Drew Brees might have to say goodbye to the Saints earlier than expected.
I like that take. I do think he's going to play well, kind of like how Teddy Bridgewater came in last year and, did really well. I think MT might get some yards this week, hopefully, knock on wood, because I need him to start producing for me, because he's been a bust in fantasy this whole year because he's been out, but I've been doing all right, so I ain't too mad. But I actually think he's going to do really well because Drew Brees, can't throw the ball past 25 yards. And Winston is not going to hesitate to do that, as you saw last year when he threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. I do think he's going to be a little bit smarter, learning from Brees. And, they're not going to risk, they're not going to run any dumb plays. They might be somewhat conservative at first, but I think they'll open up the book and he'll start just wheeling and dealing. I do think it'll be kind of a high-scoring game, but I think New Orleans will probably take that game relatively easily. And we'll see because Drew Brees could be out for 2 to 3 weeks. So, hey, Winston could take over. I don't know if I think when Brees comes back, they're going to put him back in.
Yeah.
But if Winston does good, they're going to re-sign him and, keep him there for when Drew leaves.
Exactly, yeah.
We said if we were worried about the Titans, but if I was a Ravens fan, I would be worried even more if I was as a Titans fan.
Exactly, yeah, because of what they lost to the Patriots.
Patriots, they beat y'all on Monday night. People are figuring out Lamar. Yes, Lamar put up good numbers, but they know how to contain him. And yes, Bill Belichick is one of the best, coaches in the game. But, I don't know. He put up the numbers, but their offense only scored 17 points. You're not used to seeing that from Baltimore. They put up like 30 a game. Exactly. So, I don't know. New England just had control of that game basically the whole time. What would you be thinking if you were a Ravens fan?
I would honestly think that I think that was one game. I wouldn't be worried because all teams have got beaten by teams that they shouldn't have lost. Kansas City lost to the Raiders. Rams lost to the Dolphins. I mean, all teams have a hiccup. I'm not going to be worried about the Ravens. I think they're going to still be unstoppable, but I just think that defensive coordinators know that they know how to contain Lamar.
I think they're tied with the Browns right now for second place.
6-3.
So that could go down to the wire. And I think the Ravens already whooped up on the Browns earlier this year.
Yes.
So right now they have that advantage. But they play again. I'm sure it'll be in a few weeks. So we'll see how that turns out. I would love to see the Browns in the playoffs.
I would too.
And I think it would be interesting to hear the narrative if Lamar didn't make it.
Yeah.
I bet you there'd be a lot of, he's not good anymore, one-shot wonder. I would love to hear that and see how Lamar would handle that. And then on Monday night, I don't know if you knew this, Kirk Cousins was 0 for 13 on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
He goes in there and they beat the Bears, and it was an ugly game, low-scoring defensive showdown. It was 19-13. They got the win, and Nick Foles was hurt. So I think this means Mitchell Trubisky time. Hey, I think Trubisky, he could step in there and start slinging again. I know he had
I don't think it's gonna be Mike Trubisky. I think it's gonna be Mike Glennon.
I forget the dude's name that went in. I think it was like Bay or something. And he looked pretty scared out there.
Dude, they're not putting Trubisky. I'm sorry, dude. They're gonna put in Mike Glennon, bro, from a long time ago, but they're not putting Trubisky back in. I'm sorry, it's just not.
Hey man, they might as well because they were undefeated with Trubisky in. So I don't know, man. And then the last thing I have for the NFL, I told you the NFL thing wasn't as long. This has to do with the Raiders this week. They have 10 defensive players that tested positive for COVID.
Every week.
And they play the Chiefs, so I expect to see a ass whooping from the Chiefs, especially just because the Raiders took them down previously.
Yeah.
And now they got all these players with COVID. Now, granted, some of them may be back in game time. The Chiefs, they're going to get their revenge here. You have anything else you want to say, NFL related?
I just think that the Raiders, every week they have 5 or 6 players not playing or on the COVID list. I just honestly believe that they're still going to come out firing. I still see that game being a showdown. I don't see that being a blowout because Raiders are at home. I just believe they're gonna put Darren Waller and they're gonna put that Nelson Aguilar and Ruggs and run.
Josh Jacobs. They should feed Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
All right. We usually talk about this at the beginning, but the picks. We're gonna get into picks now. Last week I went 9-5. I believe you went 10-4. Or no, we both went 9-5.
Because of Monday night.
Yeah, BAP struggled. BAP went 5-9, which is great for me. And Davin went 7-7. So it got even closer than it was before. Now the standings are going to be as I read them. In first place, we have a tie. Me and Davin, we are both 64, 36-1. We're both at first place. Number 3, BAP at 62, 38-1. So he's 2 games behind. And then you're at 4th with 60, 40-1. So you're only 4 games behind now. You know, compared to where you were a few weeks ago, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
You're slowly coming back. You're only 2 games behind the 3rd place spot. So make some good picks this week. And hey, you're right there, bro. You're right there. So based off that, let's go into the picks this week. Fide, you got your thing up or you need to set?
Hold on. I'm gonna just you could just say that people but I put it on my phone.
Okay, let me share the screen. We're gonna see the score of the Cardinals game. Seahawks are winning 7-0 right now.
Yeah,
Russell
they gave one
Wilson.
to Metcalf.
Yes, sir. 25-yarder to Metcalf.
And then Russ just got sacked. So that's great. Give me a second. Let me.
So we both picked Seattle for this, so I'm already gonna circle that.
No, that's not the one. What? Which one am I looking at? Wait. Is this week 11?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. I'm like, what the freak? Okay, give me a second. My bad. Okay, I'm ready when you are.
All right. So we both picked Seattle for the first game.
Yep.
And then Eagles and Browns.
I'm gonna go Eagles.
I'm gonna go Cleveland, just because I think their rush attack is too good.
Yeah.
I don't think the Eagles will be able to stop that. Atlanta and New Orleans. I'm gonna take the Saints, even though they got Winston, and I think Winston will play well.
Yeah.
Who are you taking the Saints as well?
Yep.
All right, Bengals and Washington. I'm gonna take my team. We technically have the same record, except they have a tie. I'm gonna take the Washington football team.
I went for Washington last week. They disappointed me. I'm going with Cincinnati.
Okay, I can't blame you. Next, we got the Lions and the Panthers. I think CMC is gonna be out again.
I'm gonna go with Carolina.
I'm gonna go with Carolina though. I just think they're a better overall team. And fuck the Lions because they going on a game of fuel. Steelers and Jags.
I'm going with the Steelers. That's kind of it's obvious. I mean,
yeah, I'm going with Steelers obviously, but I do think it'll be the Jags gave the Packers a little scare last week. I think the Steelers are good a little bit of a scare this week.
Yeah.
Now Titans Ravens. This is gonna be a good
went
game.
with the Ravens because I knew Lamar's not losing 2 games in a row.
He already did.
Oh snap!
They played the Steelers before they lost this week. I think I'm gonna pick the Titans, bro.
No, I'm still going Baltimore.
Tennessee's scaring me though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm still going Baltimore all day.
My gut says Tennessee's gonna win.
Yeah, I mean they're at home. Yeah, I gotta go with them. They're at home.
I'm gonna pick Tennessee. Be a little diff. Patriots Texans. Now this should be actually a good game. I'm interested for this one. What do you think you're taking?
For who again? My bad.
Patriots and Texans.
I'm going with the Patriots.
Oh, dude, I can't.
Yeah, I'm going with the Patriots.
Damn, I'm gonna have to pick the Patriots, bro.
I can't go with no Texans, bro. Because dude, they got Gilmore back this week, bro. I'm not going.
Oh yeah. Dolphins and Broncos. I'm gonna pick the Dolphins.
Tua Tagovailoa.
7-3. Let's get on the Tua train now, boy.
Sir.
Jets and Chargers.
I'm going with my man Herbert.
Herbert will finally get a win without choking. No, it's not on Herbert, but they'll get a win. Now this one will be a good game as well. Packers and Colts.
I went with the upset. I went with Colts.
I was thinking about picking the Colts.
I went upset because I know everybody gonna be picking the Packers. So I know if the Colts win, bro, I can get a game. So I'm going with upset.
I gotta pick the Packers. Cowboys, Vikings. I'm gonna pick Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Chiefs, Raiders.
I went with the upset for the Raiders.
Okay, I'm not gonna. I like that pick, but just because the Raiders got so many people out, I'm picking Kansas City. Now Rams and Bucks. This is gonna be a good game. I like this.
I went with the Bucks because the Rams are in my division.
I think the Bucks. Ooh. I don't know. The Bucks have had like a few games where they played really bad, and then a few games where they played really, really good.
Because if they played like they played versus the Packers, bro, they gonna whoop them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay though.
Yeah.
But I could see that going either way. And then the Bills, Bears, Giants, and 49ers are all bye. So we got the picks in. Now let's look at some fantasy, Fayed. I'll let you go first. Let's go. Oh wait, we played each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can talk about both at the same time.
Yeah, I'll let you go over your team's side first. Let's get to there.
I lost by 33 points. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This was a big game for me. Go ahead, take it over, my guy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with me first. Russ underperformed. I knew he was because we never can beat the Rams in LA. We just never can't. Jared McKinnon stunk. AJ Brown had one catch. That was it. Noah Fant, I'm dropping him this week. It's done. I'm dropping him tomorrow. Packers defense disappointed me.
They did all right.
What?
Packers defense did pretty good.
Versus the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Well, they could have done better, but they still got 7 points.
Yeah. I mean, Justin Jefferson did amazing. T. Higgins did amazing. I'm going to leave him in there. He's a sleeper for me. Aaron Jones, they're giving the ball more to Jamal Williams than Aaron Jones right now. They're not giving Aaron Jones the ball right now.
The Jags did a good job at containing Aaron Jones. So, I don't know. He didn't do that. I mean, he did okay. He still got 14. Sorry, man.
Yeah, that's all it for me.
As far as my team, my team, we played okay. Obviously we put up 130. Kyler Murray really did the bulk of the points, as well as Stephon. Kyler and Stephon really are the ones that did their things. James Robinson put up 13. He had a bunch of yards, but no touchdowns. Miles Sanders put up 13 as well. Michael Thomas, 4. Really hoping he steps it up with Winston in. Diggs had 25. Obviously, Dallas Goedert did all right. I mean, I had to pick him up because Kelsey was on bye. Nick Chubbs, he did really well in his comeback. He could have had another touchdown, ran out at the 1. But, I don't want to be greedy.
Yeah.
Giants defense, 4 points. I can't be mad at that, even though they played the Eagles. And then my kicker put up 15, so I'm also happy with that. He put up the 4th most points on my team. And as you see, Amari Cooper and Kelsey were on a bye. Carson's been out. Not too much. Yeah, let's look at the standings now.
We're tied for first, but you had the edge because of the points scored, and you we're actually tied 1-1 because
we're 1-1 against each other.
Yeah, maybe you got the points on me all day, but
I want to see the playoff. Let's go. It's right here.
I'm 3rd.
Oh yeah, that's because
Will Bailey's up.
He's automatically because he's in the division.
That's but
Nate is still. I know Nate lost.
But dude, we just need to hold on for like the next 3 weeks. We should be good.
Yeah, we should be fine to make the playoffs. It'll just be who gets the 1 seed, honestly. I don't know. Will's team is kind of surprising me, so that's interesting. I do want to look at the points. I still think I have the most points by a good amount. Oh yeah, I'm almost ahead by 100 points. And I also have the least amount scored, but I mean it doesn't matter because I'm scoring the most. You have the second least though. Let's see who has a lot of points scored but is bad. Hayden has a lot of points, dude. Hayden has so many points scored against them.
I know. I had like 160 on him when I played him.
So Hayden's 4 and 6, I think, right?
He should be. No, Hayden is 2. Wait.
He's 4
Yeah,
and 6.
4 and 6. Yep.
There's a lot of there's 4 and 6 teams that are all fighting for that number 4 spot in the playoffs.
How is this possible? Nick was 0 and 7. This dude could take the lead over Hayden if Hayden loses.
No way. He's won 3 in a row. Okay, I play Nick this week, so hopefully not.
Yeah.
But we'll see. That should be fun. I want to look at the scoreboard. Oh no. Let's see. Who do you play this week?
I forget.
Kyler Murray has 0.16 points right now. You play Hayden.
Oh,
Russell Wilson has 7 points for you already. Hold on. Let me see. I just want to see if he has a turnover or not, because he usually has more. Oh, we got an ad, guys. I don't get paid for this, so. He has 4 yards, and there's 2 minutes left. Dude, y'all are clamping him up. Yeah, jeez. Does he have a turnover or something? I don't know. All right. I think we covered everything. Anything else?
Nah, man, that was it, bro.
That was a good episode. A lot of basketball this time, which is we're not used to doing, but hey, we're gonna have to start talking about it soon because the NBA is about to start up. You know, as always, if you all want us to talk about anything else or you have any questions you want to know about us or sports related, drop them down in the comments. This was a good episode. Next episode will be the 10th one. Maybe we should do something special. I don't know. We'll be at home for that one, or I'll be at home. Fide's at home now. I'm leaving on Saturday, which is 2 days from where we're at right now. So I'll be home for the next one. So I have a little bit different background. So let us know if we should do anything for the 10th episode. And if you want to hear anything else. Fide, you want to say anything?
I mean, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. As always, take care. Come back next week. Keep your swag on. Peace out, guys.